Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Oh, it's been a couple days and been very sporadic at best with uploads, but it has been crazy and stressful, but I got it done, and we have moved offices at my work, and so it should calm down now for a little while. And so I'm hoping that I'll be a little less stressed and a little less busy, and that'll help me get back in the swing of things. But I had I talked about switching recordings to once a day. I don't know. I think I'm going to do that just because I have not really had as much energy in the morning to do it, and I feel like it'll be a lot better quality. And also, I don't need a whole 50 minutes every single day to say how I'm doing. Like, it doesn't take that long to describe most of my days. And even if I want to talk about something else, I can just do it for 20 minutes instead of 40 or 50. Because it'll be a little more empty air if I try and do one every day still. Which I am still going to keep doing the podcast. But I think switching it to something more like once a day is going to be good. And then one big fat render at the end of the week. Or maybe a bunch of smaller ones during. I'll just have to see. Because a good 15-minute podcast might be a little more interesting than, not interesting, but a little more gripping than a full week of podcast. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, now that we got moved into the new office, I definitely like it a lot more. Whew. But man, I really hope that next time I am not in charge of any part of moving, because that was a lot. I had to come in on Saturday for 6 hours, and I had to just spend most of last week getting ready and starting to get things moved. And then a few things, of course, still went wrong this morning, even with all that time. Somebody's monitor cord got lost in the move, and then somebody was not using the Ethernet cable, but they needed one now, and so I had to go on this whole big search to find the correct cable, and because of course all of the cables had been packed and not unpacked yet, so I had to get the right cable, the right adapter, and make sure that they could still get everything else hooked up while that was working. Oh, and then some files didn't get transferred from the server before we moved. had to set that whole thing up. So it ended up taking a while this morning, pretty much all morning, to get everything ready, but now we're good to go. The only complaint I have is that uh, the section that the accounting team is in, there's three of us, and we have like our own kind of annex part of the office that's separate from the rest. And so it is kind of, because we're more separated, we don't see the rest of the team as much. But walking around a bit, you still get to see them. And plus, I'm glad that it's a little more exercise than we were getting at the old office, because it's upstairs and there is an elevator, but it's very slow, and I'd rather use the stairs anyway. But then also, it's a further walk to the break room or just anywhere else in the office, which kind of suits me. I'm getting to move around a bit more. That's helping me not feel so tired, I think. Probably the biggest downside is the new bathroom situation, because the bathrooms are not even in our office. They're down the hall in a shared area. So it's even further to walk to those than anywhere in our office. And on top of it being a further walk, it's also like out of the office. And so you gotta use the key to get back in every single time. But that's a small trade-off for the benefits of the new office, because a lot better area, nicer desk, all that business. Which we're in cubicles, but uh, they're not extremely isolating. And our team's not the kind that they're like, oh, you got to keep your head down in your cubicle. Now they all pop up and look over and talk to each other. So it's not bad. And it's actually probably more social than it was before for some people. Like, we're already kind of off in a corner in accounting. We had a little more interaction with the team, but really not much at all. So it's not really changed much on that front. And I think it's got bigger meeting spaces, so it'll be easier for us to all get together. Oh, because we always get together to celebrate everybody's birthday and work anniversary. And so it'd be a lot of fun now that we have a real meeting space, because before we had a conference room that was way too small, or we usually met in the entrance area where there were nowhere near enough seats. But now we have enough chairs, we just have to get in the right space. Because there's like a break room, a conference room, a training room, and a lot of them have some space, and so we can kind of work with that. I So, yeah, new office is pretty good. I don't even know if I mentioned that we were moving offices. I think I did because I was probably complaining about it a lot. But it's been pretty much taken up most of my extra time for the past 2, 3 months, 3 months now, because we've been doing a lot of work over there. So I think now that we're moved, I will be a lot less focused on work because it won't be so much all at once. Still a lot, but I think it's more manageable now with the workload. Ooh. But it still took me forever today to kind of wrap up what I was doing because we're having to remote into the servers to do some things that we would usually do when we were there, and had it more streamlined before, and so it's taken a lot of extra time, but I think that it'll be fine once we get used to it. But that's all the time we have for today, so whether this is just a short one or part of a longer one, thanks for listening, and I will continue this tomorrow. Well, hello and welcome to part 2 of this week's podcast, which I think I have decided on the weekly format versus the very short daily, because I don't really want to bother with every single week doing, or not every single week, every single day, just spending 30 minutes processing a podcast to put out when it's just this short. So I'd rather spend an hour. Well, I guess it'll be rendering for 2 hours, but spending an hour just getting it, well, spending like 15 minutes just getting it done. I think I can do that a little more reliably so that I can still have a daily update for a podcast that goes out pretty often, but have a little more free time during the day to just do my own thing a little bit. It could change in the future, of course, if I decide I want to do more, but I've just been a little overwhelmed with work a little bit. I mean, today I had to deal with that our internet company, AT&T, just up and canceled our internet because they had a support person who was trying to help us get phones set up, and instead of adding them to our account, he canceled our account and made a new one with the phones on it, and that just deleted our internet. And so we just did not have internet today and had to get all these workarounds going, get a hotspot, and pay way too much money for it. But we got it done, and I am very tired at the end of the day today, which I was kind of hoping to get some stuff done around the house tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen because I'm just exhausted. Been running around all day trying to check things, was on the phone for hours, and just been a nightmare. But hopefully tomorrow morning it'll be up and running. So oh, but despite all that, I'm still getting to go home and gonna just sit back and relax. I started playing the video game RimWorld again. I used to play it a lot, and then I hadn't played it in a while. But they released a new DLC where you can create a mobile base called a grav ship, and it is a lot of fun. It's kind of complicated, kind of getting everything together that you need for the ship. It's like a late game, well, I guess mid game kind of thing you do because I finished the base game when I first started playing. I started a colony and then got them through the tech tree, unlocked all the ship components, and then built them and took off and won the game. But I've played a lot more since then, just doing different things. And I kind of, for this game, I wanted to just get in and try out the new stuff. So I gave myself kind of a massive boost for a head start with the Prepare Carefully mod. I gave myself some of the parts needed for an initial ship so I wouldn't have to wait so long to try it out. And it still, of course, took me almost, it took me a year of in game time. So a few hours to like get everything ready and get enough resources to actually do the grav ship launch. And you have to like research some stuff, and it wasn't too bad. It's a good mid-game range where you still get that same classic beginning and do a lot of stuff at your home base, but then you load up in a ship. The thing is, you usually have to send a caravan to go and discover one of the places, and then you just collect the panels for the ship and the engine, or in the core. Or I think it like crashes. I think it might crash land usually, but it's like you kind of get a chance to go get one, and then you build from there. And I started with about one uh, kind of collection of 150 panels and a grav engine, which is about what you get to start with the first site you visit anyway. But uh, yeah, so I had enough to kind of get a first one together, and I flew that one jump and then had to completely reset up everything because I had broken some stuff and then was out of fuel, and it was a lot of fun. Just those stories, because RimWorld is a story generator is kind of what it's called, because it's not really about completing the objectives as much as it is the things that happen along the way. And so, yeah, we made our first jump and then kind of crashed a little bit because I didn't have anybody properly trained or ready for it. And then we crashed, and then I think one of our 4 small engines was destroyed, and we were out of fuel, and it was kind of there. So I built up a defensive base around it at the new place we had crash landed because we didn't have enough fuel to get to the final objective anyway. And so then spent about 2 seasons of the game there getting everything ready, and then jumped to the objective we were going after, which was an additional grav core site, and landed there and set up a temporary base, and then started exploring the ruins where the grav core was, and found a bunch of robots, had to fight them, and then got not mechanoids, because those are something else, but just robots from the ancient humans, I guess. But then from there, I got all that, and then where I stopped, so we started exploring and then kept getting injured because all I have is 4 guys with like essentially flak armor, or they had a little bit better than flak armor, but it was like, I don't remember, I think it's the marine armor, something like that. And the just machine guns, or M16s essentially, which worked pretty good, but they weren't able to tank the hits, and so we kept having to stop and rest for a few days while they healed their wounds. So I just built a hospital. I had to research hospital beds, build a hospital, and then start growing plants because we were taking too long and weren't going to be able to leave by the time we were out of food. And so we got all of that together and eventually we got through the whole thing. And so now where I am is deconstructing the ancient fortress so that we can get all the parts. And then I'm after that, I'm going to deconstruct our base and move up into the ship. I'm trying to decide because we got about 150 more panels. I think it's like 140 something. So close to 150 extra panels. And so I'm going to have a 300 panel ship. And I'm trying to figure out if that's enough room for me to add some essential spaces, because I think we need I don't want to just use a barracks because it makes the colonists upset a little bit. And I don't really want to use all of my panels to just get them some rooms. So I think we're going to have to just wait and see what it looks like. But we'll be getting to that soon. So anyway, that's all the time I have for today. So I will let y'all know what happens tomorrow, I guess. But for now, talk to y'all next time. Oh, hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Oh, yeah. It has been quite the day yet again. We were supposed to have everything squared away at 10. They didn't show up until 10:30. And then didn't get anything finished till 11:30 when we should have been done. But then, of course, one of the owners got into it with the people and wasn't arguing really, but she was trying to figure out why we couldn't use their equipment to set up our static IPs, which we need our own equipment to do. But then she said, no, we can't do that on our own equipment. We want to do it another way. I don't want you to set this up. And so is there another way to do it? Spent an hour and a half on the phone just to tell her I was right the first time. There's nothing we can do about it other than get our own equipment and then go back and forth all day long, have to buy a new phone because the phones we have don't work, and all that to end up getting not much of anything done. Oh. So, we'll see, but it's definitely going to be a bit more to it than they wanted for setting everything up. But they got it going good enough for now. Just our accounting system's running very slow because we're running it off of a VPN, and that is running off of a network that's very slow sometimes, which if we just upgraded the old internet speeds, that problem would be fixed. But no, we didn't want to upgrade since we were moving, and now that we've moved, we don't want to upgrade since we're moved. But the old servers still need it for like another 2 months, so it's just gonna be a big old thing. Oh, and so we'll just have to see what happens and see how it goes. I'm hoping the rest of the week will be pretty calm. Oh, but first 3 days of the week, not looking promising for the rest of it. And I still haven't even gotten things done that I was supposed to get done Monday. So, oh, eventually, I do think it'll get fine, but it was a major mistake trying to move in a single day and not allowing more time for transition. I'm really hoping that we get this done and in maybe a month have the servers moved, and then we can just calm down and be done with all the complications for a while. But I think it'll take a while longer for us to stop being busy. We're still importing all the data for a customer that is a pretty big one, and we're getting through it, but slowly, very slowly. And then they're requesting all sorts of ridiculous things, like that we do a bunch of their paperwork and get that added onto their uh, pretty much do a bunch of their paperwork and add it onto their district's agendas by attaching it to our paperwork and bundling it all together so that their districts are a little quicker. But I wouldn't mind it too much if I weren't already doing 5,000 other things at the same time. But maybe tomorrow I'll have time to get that done. We'll just have to wait and see. But we got the internet up and running, and we got the phone, two phones up and running. So hopefully that means we're good to go for tomorrow. And I'll just be good to set everything up. Hey, but an update on the RimWorld playthrough I was talking about yesterday. Uh, so my colony, uh, let's see, it was, so I think we had just defeated, or just like gotten the grav core and all. So this time, let's see, what did I do yesterday in RimWorld? Because I think just kind of, I took apart the grav ship we had and scavenged all the panels from it and the grav core or engine and the thrusters. And so I'm going to attach those all to the new one, but I'm going to have to build a lot more components. But we have 390 panels, I think, almost 400 panels. And so I can make a pretty big ship. And so I'm going to be redesigning the grav ship to hopefully have enough space for bedrooms. That's really what I'm aiming for, is permanent bedrooms on there, because I think that will have a pretty decent effect on the colonists. And then power, a permanent power solution. Because I want to also put at least the important fabrication things in there, because I don't know if any of y'all know about RimWorld who are listening, but there's like certain tables you have to make things, and some of them are just like wooden tables that are super easy to get, and you can just place them down pretty much wherever, and it's not hard. But some of them take a ton of work and components to build and are very expensive to replace. So I'd like to get those down because I researched component fabrication, and so I'm making components finally, but it takes some work, so I don't want to have to and it takes advanced components to build that, so I don't want to have to redo that entire thing. Oh. So I'm hoping that I can uh, move that onto the ship, and then, or at least build one on the ship. That, and then the high tech research bench, which requires a lot of components, and the multi analyzer, and just have pretty much the, and then the, but the number two thing I need after the bedrooms is a food paste maker dispenser thing so that I can have permanent food storage on there, because that is also a bit of a sticking point, as I keep having all my food go bad while we're traveling. So I'm using a mod to increase stack sizes, so that'll make storing things a lot easier. I just need like a few, pretty much one tile per type of storage. But ugh, it's still a lot of space necessary to store a lot of food in that game. But that's all the time I have for today, so I'll be back tomorrow with part 4 of this week's podcast. Oh, hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Oh, I definitely like, I haven't, so I've been meaning to do like maybe 2 of these a day, but keep doing 1 a day because I forget over and over again to grab it on the way out. But today was definitely better, so that's good. I'm still getting off a little late, but that's because oh, our accounting server's being super slow still. But we got the phones fixed. I got some people's internet fixed whose internet was slow, and I think we're pretty good there. I got a lot of the month end stuff caught up, and I got a lot of the just a lot of it done. So we're looking better. I feel less stressed, and a little more ready to go. Maybe tomorrow I'll be on time for everything and get everything done. And then I can have a nice, relaxing weekend knowing that I'm not extremely behind on everything at work. But it's definitely still not a very easy and I just got caught in traffic. I don't think I'm going to be able to slide over. I am in the right-hand lane on a 6-lane road, 3 lanes each direction with a turn lane, and I need to be in the turn lane in less than a block. So we will see. Maybe I can squeeze in there and traffic gets kind of bad sometimes around here though. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better today, so that's good. And I'm really hoping that I can. I got over in the turn lane. There we go. But I'm really hoping that I can just have a good, relaxing evening. And I need to do some housework. So hopefully I get that done. Oh, and then I'm cooking supper tonight too. I almost forgot about that. But I'm making pancakes. It's not the most healthy supper, but it's what my wife is craving a lot with being pregnant, and it's one of the few meals that she can eat without any trouble at all. So that's good. And so I'm making her some pancakes. So I'm trying to think of what I should do for the pancakes because we just use the box of pancake mix, and like I'm not making some fancy from scratch things. I'm just cooking them. I don't know if like she's a great cook. I don't know why she never makes some, but I guess it's just one of those things like I'm the only one that makes hamburgers and I'm the only one that makes pancakes. Those are just the meals I make. So somebody's tailgating me real bad now. But yeah, the mix we got is just the HEB brand mix, but I'm trying to think of what I need to do to kind of spice it up a little because it was good, but I definitely think they were a little flatter. So I'm trying to think. I want them a little more thick and fluffy, but I also want them a little more. I don't know. I feel like because the Bisquick ones have like a extra recipe on them if you want to make them extra special. Ooh, maybe I should make waffles tonight because we have some waffle irons and the recipe's almost the same. So maybe I should do that. I don't know though. Waffles are good. Pancakes are a little easier to keep, but we have fun shapes on the waffle maker. Ooh, maybe I'll ask her when I get home, see what she wants. I think she wants pancakes though, so I'll probably make pancakes. And then get some pancakes and have some sausage and some eggs, and we have some pure maple syrup. I might make homemade syrup It's just sugar, water, and maple flavoring because neither one of us like the breakfast syrups you get at the store that are just like butter syrup or corn syrup with maple. But uh, the maple syrup, I like it pure. I like pure maple syrup a lot, but my mom has a recipe that's just equal parts sugar and water, and then add maple flavoring to taste, pretty much, and it tastes very similar to pure maple syrup, but it has a little more. It's a little more runny and watery, so it kind of gets the you get the syrup absorbed by the pancake really well, and it is real nice because you get some nice maple soaked pancakes instead of just maple covered pancakes, which I like the maple soaked a little better because I like the flavor of pure maple syrup better, but it just kind of sits on top and soaks in a bit, but it's also like a crazy expensive compared to just making it yourself, because the pure maple syrup costs like we got a pretty big bottle for $18, I think it was, which $18 for, I think it was like 16 ounces, which is, a water bottle. But no, a water bottle is 12 ounces, but it was 16 ounces. No, maybe it was 12, because I think it was as much as a water bottle. Maybe it was more. I'm trying to remember, because 16 ounces is a pint, I think. I don't know if it was a full pint. Maybe it was like 14 ounces. Anyway, it was somewhere in that realm. Like, not that much. And it costs like $20 almost. So, that's a lot. And you can just buy a equal parts sugar and water is like a couple bucks, even with the maple flavor or maple extract, not maple flavoring. Maple flavoring works too. The maple extract tastes a little better, in my opinion, though. So we usually get that, but that's only a couple of dollars. And then the sugar is a couple of dollars for a pretty good sized pack. And so you can get like 2 cups of sugar for less than $1. And then you use like a teaspoonish of maple flavoring. So that's like maybe another 50 cents. Yeah, it's not bad considering that pure maple syrup costs as much as it does. It's not a bad idea to use the homemade stuff you uh, when you want to keep your real stuff for a little bit more like recipes that call for that, because the consistency of that is something you can't really just replace as easily. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today, so I'll continue this with part 5 tomorrow, which will just be in a few seconds for y'all. But that'll be my first weekly as opposed to a daily podcast, which I might go back to the dailies, but I think the weeklies are going to be a little easier for now, and we'll just have to see what happens. But, oh, hello, and welcome to part 5 of the first weekly episode of the Phlightless Phoenix Podcast. Oh, I tell you, it has been a lot less stressful. Well, I mean, it was never really stressful, but it's been a lot more relaxing doing just one portion a day, and then I'm gonna just set the render going when I'm not using the computer, and so it'll be a lot easier to kind of get this one done than it was to try to keep up with a daily podcast. I think I still need to upload an episode from last week, maybe, or maybe even the week before. It's been a bit, but I think I needed a little bit of a overall break. But today was good. Didn't really have too much happen. Was able to get a lot done. I'm still not caught up with all my work, but I'm back in a good routine at least. And so I think that it's gonna be good to go after this, and I think I'll stick with doing weekly podcasts for now, just because it's a little bit of a longer drive, and trying to make the drive and then get in and signed into work, uh, or clocked in to start working. It takes a little bit longer, and I'm not quite on a 15-minute schedule instead of a 12-minute schedule for my commute yet. I'm still, because it's like just around the corner from our old office, so it's like not even a full, like it's almost the exact same time to park. The issue is that the time to get from my car to the office has increased quite a bit. And so it is a little more uh, it's a little more hard to do. So yeah, it takes like 2 minutes to get up there, and when it's been taking like 13-ish minutes to do the drive, so it's, yeah, just a little longer, and I'm not quite used to it yet. So I'm not leaving quite as early because I'm leaving at about the same times. But I think that's something that just I'll get a little more used to as time goes on. Oh, I was doing real good for a little bit there, getting to work either right on time or early. But then I just kind of got thrown off by the extremely stressful week that I had. And so now it's, getting back in the swing of things. But I think that we'll be all good now. I am still considering, uh, I do think I'm still considering looking for a new job. Just after this whole business, I realized I don't want to be this stressed with work. And I mean, it's not fun or easy to move jobs, but I think that it might be necessary. just, yeah, because they're doing good about giving us raises at my current job, but it's just a little behind because the economic impact of everything that means you need the raise happens first, and then the raise happens second, and so you're constantly trying to play this kind of game of catch up to see if you can handle it. But I really enjoyed working here. It's just they're they keep piling on the work and not really acting as if it's much difference. And I think I'm just kind of getting fed up with the non-responsive nature of the owners, because like I get that they're doing their own thing and I don't care about that. I don't like care about the way they're managing the company, except for the fact that they have inserted themselves into every single part of every single process we have, and so we can't do anything without their approval pretty much. But we have tons of things that need done within hours, and so it's just a lot of back and forth with people who are not really wanting to have a lot of back and forth, but are completely unwilling to give up that control either. Which I think they're just having a hard time delegating, and it'll get better eventually. And it has even gotten better since I've started working here. It's gotten a lot less severe, and it's just still bad enough to where I'm considering leaving just because it's making the day-to-day work extremely stressful when it starts piling up. Oh, but it's going to be hard to find another job too. I was kind of hoping I was kind of wanting to wait and start looking for another job in a time frame where I could maybe get an offer to move for a job in a different area, like, because I like where we live now, but I want to move to a small town eventually. My wife does too. We want to get somewhere out of city limits in a smaller area, or at least a little ways out of town here, but that's not easy to do. And I was thinking if I found a job that was offering uh, to help pay for moving costs, that would effectively give us the opportunity to finally get a house or just get something a little better. And so I was thinking of looking for that, but we have this apartment for a year, and I don't really want to go month to month because that opens us up to some pretty bad price hikes. I really think we need to lock in a lower price if we can. So I don't want to go month to month, but at the same time, I would really rather live somewhere else, and so it's kind of hard because I need to be able to move, but I also need to be able to keep a good price guaranteed, you know? renting is just not as fun. Even like they haven't even fixed the things we're having issues with. It's just not great, but it's manageable still. But yeah, I was thinking if I'm going to look for a new job anyway, might as well look for one that gives us an opportunity to get where we want to be. But then also, if I just look for a new job in town, that might be a little closer or might give me a pretty good pay raise. That'd be very nice. But that's all the time we have for today, and that's all the time we have for this week. So thank y'all for listening. I'll keep up with these weekly podcasts, I think. But that's all for this one.